Do you think of yourself more as an African than a Jamaican?
Yeah, because one of the main things is that we're Rasta. From you accept Rasta, you become an Ethiopian, which is Africa. Next thing again, the history of Jamaica shows that the Arawak Indian was living there, and it belonged to the Arawak Indian. Now, our history shows that through slave business, black people come out of the Western team, you know? So we still figure, say, Africa is a root.
Do you think of yourself more as an African or a Jamaican? For many Jamaicans, that question goes deep because their history, their culture, and their very spirit trace right back to the heart of Africa. From Rastafari to reggae, from the struggle to the strength, Africa is more than a continent to us. It's our roots, our home, our identity. Welcome back to the channel family. My name is Michelle Commentary, and today we are exploring something powerful: why Jamaicans should return, reconnect, and rebuild with Africa, the true motherland of black people. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe, like, and drop a comment to show your love and support. Now let's dive in.
Wagwan people, if you haven't heard the news yet, Jamaica and Nigeria are working actively to have direct flights. Currently, there's no direct flights between Jamaica and Nigeria and Jamaica. So it's going to be the unification of jerk and jollof. The Nigerian Minister of Aviation and the Jamaican ambassador to Nigeria had a meeting to discuss what can we do to bring the nations together. And I feel like this direct flight is the perfect thing because we've been separated for too long. And the purpose of having these direct flights is to boost economic ties, cultural exchange, and I'm looking forward to it. Too many times Jamaicans have to go roundabout way to get to Africa, and it's a pain in the butt. And while we're doing this, let's have it visa-free for Jamaicans to go to Nigeria and for Nigeria to come to Jamaica visa-free. Just like how Jamaicans can go to Ghana visa-free. Let's put that in there as well. But I'm definitely looking forward to the link up. It's gonna be great. So we can teach them something about Jamaica. They can teach us something about Nigeria. And I'm looking forward to this.
Greetings, loved one. Greetings from Africa, Ghana to be precise. I heard that Melissa is giving on a warm time down there. But I beg you, don't forget that Jamaica is for a short period of time. It's not for eternal. There's a lot of things in the promised land to be done. So if you think you're tired of natural disaster, global warming, or judgment, then just come back to the land of your ancestors, where there's a lots and lots of work to be done. Dennis Brown tell you, we have mechanic work to be doing, we have farming work to be doing, we have agro-processing which we can go into. So any one of those things which you know you're strong and you're capable of doing, then just come back to the ancestral land instead of in that precarious condition of you don't know what's happening next in the island.
Well, this yardie had a different experience returning home to the motherland, and I've been there twice. And on both occasions at the airport, them said to me, "Welcome home, sir." First time Zimbabwe going through customs. "Welcome home, sir." Second time Ghana. Custom officer look at my thing and say, "Oh, so you're Jamaican?" I say, "Yes." He said, "Welcome home, sir." Oh, no, know that blood clot feel? It melts the heart. See? And bring a tear to the eye. But as a man, I have to suck it up and say, "Respect my brother, I give a thanks." Driving through the streets of Accra, Jamaican colors and Jamaican flags, they all bout. Pan wall, pan car, inside a car, pan bus, pan truck, van, everywhere. See? Bob Marley picture, they all bout. See? Me see I'll Garvey picture too. I know say Marcus Garvey inspired that black star in the middle of the Ghanaian flag. See? Me in a the art center with my family. See, I'm going to say a word to my queen. And a man hear me accent and say, yo, you're Jamaican. I say, yes. He make an alarm and everybody gather around. Everybody want to come say hi to her, the yardie. You see me? Man a tell me story. Man a ask me question. Everyone want just come talk up to the yardie. You see? Me never know so them love Jamaica so much in a Ghana till I went there. Seeing? The Jamaican demanded, I say, yo, you have to come home in a bridging. Left off of the blood-clad plantation and come home. Whole about Jamaica me meet and there still, see? You know, growing up in Jamaica, enough people want to go to America. I talk to this girl in Ghana. Yeah, she said, our dream place to be, our dream place to visit is what? Jamaica. You see me? I mean, I say, look at that. And she's in the motherland where most away want to come home too. And she want to come visit us down on the plantation. You see me? Yeah. I would want everybody to travel, see? And especially visit Ghana. My next trip I could be Nigeria still. Because I have a good percentage of Nigerian in my blood. Just like Ghana, see? Bless up on herself. Yeah.
Every single black person needs to visit a black country. Go there, and not to the little touristy areas. Go to the black areas, the real areas, and see what life could be like, especially if you're from the US, like myself. So I grew up going to Jamaica every year with my family, and it was life-changing for me as a child to see Black business owners, Black restaurant owners, Black people in commercials, Black people on billboards, Black politician, all Black everything. It was so beautiful and so inspiring. For the first time in my life, I was seen. I took off my Blackness and put on my humanness. I wasn't just Jessica the Black girl, I was just Jessica. And if you've never experienced what life is like outside of your Blackness, outside of your exterior, you'll be surprised to know how much freedom there is in just being you. I've been in many social spaces where I walk in, I'm representing as the only Black person there. And you have to be very mindful and cognizant of everything you do, everything you say, how you walk, how you dress, because there are so many stereotypes and stigmas about you already that you need to walk in on your A game. You don't realize how much all of these things are playing on your psyche, on what you think is possible, on what life could be, what normalcy is. You don't always have to be the other. Growing up in the US, going to school, it was so hard to make friends because people are afraid of me. People think I'm gonna act a certain way or be a certain way. I went to Jamaica, I would be there for 5 days and leave with 10 friends because these people are just seeing me for me. There's no preconceived notions of who this tall Black girl is. Even if you think life is great here, it can be so much better in a place where you can truly be you. Trust me. I don't know if I'm raising my kids in Jamaica or if I'm retiring in Jamaica because I have to live there for at least a year because it is so fantastic. And if I have children, I also want them to see all the possibilities life can be as a person of color.
I'm so tired of this narrative. It is simply not true. And I don't know where it started. I don't know who is trying to create this propaganda that Africans don't accept us in the diaspora. It is not true. A great majority of them love us and embrace us and want us to come over there and connect with them. Sure, you have a few that may be saying, oh, you know, don't come over here. But I mean, it's 1 and 2, and most of them are just not in their right minds. Just like you have piece of shit Jamaicans, but I'm not going around and saying, oh, Jamaica is hell because you have a few people who aren't very nice. Check the comment section of the last video that I posted. It is full of comments from the continent, all over the continent. Even on Instagram, I have 50,000 followers on Instagram. About 90% of them are Africans. Africans love us, especially Jamaicans. Okay, maybe they don't like black Americans so much, right? And you can understand, you know, I love my black American brothers and sisters, but y'all are hard to deal with sometimes, especially when you come to other places where other African people are. You know, you come with your entitlement, you come with your attitude, you come with your complaining. Like, it's very difficult to deal with y'all because you're American, you know, and that's just the truth. But we love in the same way, you know, but it's just hard to deal with. But Africans love Jamaicans, they love Jamaicans. Ghana, they act just like us. They actually act like us. That's how much they love us. Come on. And the rest of Ethiopia.
The experience that I've ever had, oh my God, I wish everyone out there who's seen this at this moment could experience it. The Africa that we hear about in the other world, that's not what it is here. You gotta come by and see.
So I'm like fully Senegalese now, but look how beautiful Ilia Cafe is. It's so nice. But how I know I'm fully Senegalese? I ain't fully Senegalese. I still can't speak French or Wolof. So embarrassing. But whenever people talk to me now, instead of like yes, I say wa 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 wa. C'est bon, ça va, or assalamu alaikum. So it's kind of like, yeah. I hope I don't go back to the US like wah wah wah. I hope I remember to say yes when someone tells me something next. She was like, "Is this your takeout juice?" And instead of yes, I was like wah 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 wah. Merci beaucoup. Look at Senegal at night. Whee! I love Africa.
Mindset, Rastafari. Give thanks and praise to life, health and strength. Oh, which part over there in Africa is a bigger Jamaica, Zane? Yeah. That's a bigger Jamaica over there in Africa. Jamaica look alike. Jamaica look alike, but Africa with it. See? Jamaica look alike, but Africa with there. So all of the people who feel say they can't give up an island to a continent. Well, this is proof that this is a bigger island. Zena would just call it a continent. Alright? But not much different from Jamaica. Zena? Yeah, Jamaica. To me, I like a Jamaica, me there. Seriously. Alright, so we not give up an island, we not give up a continent for an island, yeah? Rather the continent over the island all day, every day. See? Right, that's it, so. Leg off of the island, stepping at the continent. Africa is great, the people are great, the place is great. You know what I mean? You come into Africa, make Africa even greater. Because the reality is, what Africa really need is human power, human resources. We have all the natural resources already. See? So what Africa need is just human resource, human power, human strength. See? More human, more black people, more Africans from the diaspora coming into Africa to make it a better place. I don't know, Africa been bleeding for over 400 and odd years. And come on now, if a place been bleeding for 400 and odd years, obviously it must be weakening. See? So we need the people to come in forward again and strengthen Africa. Of course, you know, Africa is a little bit weak at the moment, but to strengthen it up, it requires you out there in the diaspora. Alright, so mindset, food for thought, bigger Jamaica, right, that's how we're there. Rastafari. all black people should move to Africa, and I'm going to explain why in this video. And for those of you who are new to the journey, my name is Tim Ford Jr., and I help my people return, invest, and rebuild in Africa. So stay tuned. Like I said, all black people should move to the continent of Africa. I know there's going to be some people in my comment section talking about, hey, Africa is not a country. Africa is a continent. I know that, okay? I know that, and I'm about to clear that up. For those who don't know, Africa is actually a continent with 54 different countries, okay? That means there's 54 different places that you can decide to go to when you decide to relocate to the continent of Africa. First, we're going to start with Tanzania.
So let me tell y'all the difference between Africans and Jamaicans. Africans, they're going to accept you no matter what. For y'all, those that don't know me, my daddy's from Nigeria and my mama is American. I tell an African, oh yeah, my daddy's from Nigeria. Or an African sees my last name and they say, oh, are you African? I tell them, yeah, my daddy's from Nigeria. Oh, we're family. My sister, cousin. We are from the motherland. Welcome, my sister, auntie. Oh yes, I'm gonna bring you some fufu and egusi soup. Yes, my sister. I've heard that Jamaicans, they don't care if you have a drop of blood of Jamaican. They don't care if your family, your mama, daddy, born and grown in Jamaica, your granny from Jamaica. If you were not born and raised in Jamaica, they will not accept you. They do not care. They don't care if you didn't born and grow. And then another thing that I see is they'll like Jamaica check you, like what parish you're from. They'll start asking a whole bunch of questions. But I love y'all Jamaicans, but y'all know I love my African people because y'all always gonna accept me no matter what.
Every Jamaican carries a piece of Africa within them. In their rhythm, in their language, in the way they move, laugh and love. The heartbeat of Africa never left us. It simply changed its accent. From the drums that echo in reggae and dancehall, to the deep reverence of Rastafari and the colors of red, gold, and green. Our food, our spirituality, all of it was born from Africa's soul and nurtured by Jamaica's struggle. When you walk through Kingston, Montego Bay, or Spanish Town, you can feel it. A spirit of resistance, dignity, and pride. That same spirit that once flowed through our ancient Kemethi, Ethiopia, and Ghana now flows through Jamaicans worldwide. We might live on an island, but our roots spreads across the continent. The story of Jamaica cannot be told without Africa. Our ancestors were taken from kingdoms across Western Africa, from Ghana, Nigeria, Benin, and the Congo, brought through the Middle Passage in chains. They arrived on Caribbean shores as slaves, but they carried something the slave masters could never touch: their identity, their faith, and their hope. From that hope came Caribbean. From rebellion came freedom, and from freedom came a culture so powerful it reshaped the world. While we gained independence, we also lost connection. We were told Africa was poor, backward, and dangerous. Lies planted to keep us divided, to make us forget our source of strength. Meanwhile, Africa was told that the Caribbean had forgotten them, that division worked perfectly for those who profited from our disunity. But today, the truth is rising again. In the early 19th, one man stood tall and spoke a message that still echoes across time. Marcus Garvey, Jamaica's own son. Garvey looked beyond the small island and saw a mighty nation waiting to be reborn. He said, "A people without the knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots." Garvey dreamed of a united Africa, strong, independent, and free. He told black people everywhere to lift their heads high, to return mentally, spiritually, and physically to the motherland. That dream inspired movements like Rastafari, Pan-Africanism, and even the civil rights. Service message was clear: Africa for the Africans, those at home and those abroad. And now, over a century later, that dream is becoming real. Across Africa, doors are opening again for the children of the diaspora. Ghana's Year of Return invited black people worldwide to come home, and thousands answered. Nigeria and Jamaica are working on direct flights, building cultural and business bridges. In Gambia, Senegal, and Ethiopia, communities of Jamaicans and Caribbean are already planting roots. These are not tourists. They are returnees reconnecting with the land their ancestors once walked. When a Jamaican lands in Ghana or Nigeria, something happens. People greet them with warmth, saying "Welcome home." That simple phrase carries centuries of healing. It's a moment when history and destiny meets. For many Jamaicans who have visited Africa, the experience is overwhelming. They see familiar faces, hear similar words, taste similar food. They realize we were never that different. The sea may have separated us, but our soul never forgot. The world is changing fast. Climate change is bringing stronger hurricanes to the Caribbean. Economic pressure is growing. Jobs are harder to find, and the cost of living is rising. Even culture itself feels under attack. Young people being pulled by Western trends that disconnect them from their roots. It's no coincidence that this awakening, this call back to Africa, is happening now. In the middle of global uncertainty, people are looking for belonging. They are searching for home, a real home. And Africa is calling. Africa is not just a land of deserts and poverty, as the media often shows. It's a land of gold, oil, diamonds, fertile soil, young energy, and innovation. It's a place where black people can walk tall, lead proudly, and build freely without apology. For Jamaicans and Caribbeans who feel boxed in by limited opportunity, Africa offers space to grow, to invest, to dream, to build a legacy. There is also something deeply spiritual about this movement. For generations, Rastafari has taught the Zion, the promised land, is not in Europe or the West, but in Africa. Haile Selassie's visit to Jamaica in 1966 was not just political, it was prophetic. It reignited the fire of connection between Africa and her children. Many Jamaicans see Africa as the biblical land of return, the place of restoration after centuries of wandering, just as the Israelites longed to return to Jerusalem. The African diaspora longs to return to their spiritual home. It's not just about moving physically. It's about awakening mentally. Remember who we are and whose we are. Where we see Africa not as foreign, but as family, we begin to heal the broken chain of identity. Many Jamaicans who have returned to Africa say the same thing. It feels like home. A brother from Montego Bay said, when he landed in Ghana, people recognized the accent and said, "You are our brother." He saw murals of Bob Marley and Marcus Garvey on the streets, heard reggae music playing, and felt something he couldn't explain: peace. A sister from Kingston said that when she arrived in Gambia, she felt like she had been there before. She said, The sun felt fire and soil felt alive, and the people smiled like family. These are not just emotional stories. They are living proof that the connection is real. That spiritual DNA runs deeper than history books can explain. Imagine what would happen if Africa and the Caribbean truly united. If Jamaica, Trinidad, Barbados, and the rest of the islands connected their culture, music, and education with Africa's markets and resources, we would no longer need to depend on former colonizers for survival. We would trade with each other, teach each other, and protect each other. A global black economy would rise, one built on respect, heritage, and pride. This unity is not a dream. It's a possibility waiting for our action. Each time a Jamaican visits Africa, rests there, collaborates, or simply learns, we move one step closer to fulfilling Garvey's prophecy. We can be the generation that completes what our ancestors began. So now the question is, will we answer the call? Africa is rising. Its cities are booming. Its people are young and full of ideas. Technology, fashion, music. The world is paying attention. But the diaspora, the lost sons and daughters, still hold a key piece of the puzzle. Jamaica's culture, courage, and creativity can help shape the Africa of tomorrow. Africa's strength, land, and unity can help sustain the Caribbean of today. Together we can create something unstoppable. A global African identity built on love, pride, and progress. To every Jamaican, every Caribbean soul, every black person in diaspora hearing this, know that your story didn't start in slavery. It started in Africa, in kingdoms, temples, and villages full of life, beauty, and power. You are not the descendants of slaves. You are the descendants of survivors, of kings and queens, investors, builders, and dreamers. So when Africa calls, it's not just geography calling. It's your ancestors. It's your DNA. It's your destiny. Now is the time to reconnect through travel, business, learning, and love. Let the bridges grow. Let the healing begin. Because Africa is not just where we came from. It's where our future begins. If this message spoke to your heart, share it. Remind someone where they come from. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more content that brings the Black family back together. From Kingston to Accra, from Lagos to Montego Bay, one love, one people, one identity. Africa is calling. Will you answer?